What's going on, traders? This is Jack with the Trading Tribe, and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to go through one of my recent nice swing trades on the gold futures market, kind of go through how I was able to make a little over $2,800 on the trade. I typically will only trade gold if it's a really clear, clean, kind of like trend trade type setup, and there was one last month that I do want to kind of review. It was closed in October 1st, opened it up at the end of September. So it was just like an overnight, pretty quick swing trade. But wanted to kind of review how I found the trade, what the stats were for the trade itself. I was able to pull out about 30 points in the market on a long trade with gold. Here's my TrazeZella recap of the trade itself. So if we look here on the trading view chart, right, we can see on the hourly time frame, gold essentially pulled back to that 200 simple moving average. On these pullbacks this year, gold has been a really nice buy opportunity. So I was locked in for buys, interested in going long in the market. And then you can see here was my entry. I only took this trade with one contract just because of the size of the gold futures. And I was able to scale out of this trade really into this nice, clean up move off of the moving average. If we scroll down, you can also see the running P&L for the trade, which is exactly how we like to see it here at the Trading Tribe. We can see from when I got into the trade till when I exited the trade, it was just a really clean move where I was in profit the entire trade. So this is obviously rare. Some trades aren't like this, but this is a good example of when you can really pinpoint those entries. If you're right, you should know pretty quickly, typically, and within an hour, right, you can see I was already up on the trade, and then obviously all the way through to target, that P&L chart just continued to climb. In terms of executions, here was my entry, here was my exit. As I said, I only took this trade with one contract, but this was my in and out for the trade. So got in at the end of September, scaled out that next day, and did this really clean move up. If we jump over to ThinkorSwim, I can show the same thing. So here off to the left is that hourly time frame, just like we were looking at in TrazeZella. And then here on the right is that 1 minute where you can see my entry here, which I took on the overnight session. And then you can see I scaled out into this really massive move here on the 1 minute just to match up those entries and exits. I'll scroll this out. And then we can really talk through how I found the trade. I'm going to load in my 200 simple moving average here on this chart. And then I'm going to go back to this day kind of in question here. And we can kind of talk through how I was able to find the trade, what I really, really liked about the trade as well. And if you have any questions as well, feel free to leave those down below. This is a swing trade that I'm known for taking, so tons of videos on the channel walking through other examples like this. But what I like to do is I like to watch for these trends to form on the higher time frames. So if we see here on the hourly, we can see a really nice uptrend this year on gold. We're actually slowing down now as we speak, but for this time period, at least, right, we can see these really nice waves up with higher highs and higher lows. And these pullbacks towards these moving averages have historically been really nice buy opportunities. So you can see off of that 200 moving average, right, there's been some really nice moves up. And that was really my idea for the trade. So I noticed gold pull back. I noticed we were holding that 200 moving average. And just like last time, right, we were able to launch back to those higher highs, which was exactly what I was looking for. So we can see here on gold, right, this is that same day. We can see gold did get back above that 200 moving average, which is what this line here is. This staggered kind of chart line is that moving average from this higher time frame. And we can see, right, it was able to hold that 200 moving average, which was my confirmation to enter the trade. And so that is when I took entry on the trade. What I really like about these is you can have extremely tight risk. So for a stop loss, right, you can get it under that current low, essentially targeting that upside move with very little risk, right? So if you are taking these turns on the hourly, right, we do have a very clear low typically that is typically really nice risk to reward wise. So I was risking about $1,000 here for about 4,000, I believe, if it went to the full target. It did not, obviously, and that's why I got out for near $3,000 of gains. But in this case, right, that's why I liked the trade so much, right? The risk to reward was extremely nice. We could risk about 10 points for 40 points, kind of with that typical risk to reward calculation. As this trade began to work in our favor, right, I did end up scaling out into this higher high, and that's how I was able to capture nearly 3,000 in profits off of just one contract in the gold futures market. If you have any questions on this trade, how I was able to understand how to get in, get out for the trade, manage risk, really any of the topics we just covered, feel free to leave those down below. Also, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I'm always willing to do trade recaps for trades I'm taking in the markets, just so you guys can learn kind of my style and how I find the trades as well. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will be back next time.